Long before the first walls of ancient kingdoms rose above the plains, before bronze bells carried their voices across valleys, before emperors, scholars, and travelers traced their footsteps across the land, there was only the patient rhythm of the rivers. Tonight, as the modern world quietly drifts farther away, allow your breathing to become slow and gentle, following the ancient currents that have flowed for thousands upon thousands of years. Feel every breath becoming softer than the one before, every exhale carrying away the weight of the day, until only stillness remains. Far to the north, the great yellow river winds across the earth with deliberate purpose. Its waters are heavy with fine golden silt gathered from distant highlands, giving the river its warm, muddy glow. It does not rush. It does not hurry toward the sea. It bends, curls, widens, and narrows with the endless patience of time itself, carving gentle paths through broad plains that will one day cradle civilizations beyond counting. Tonight, however, there are no cities, there are no roads. There is only the river, breathing quietly beneath an endless sky. Far to the south, another great waterway follows its own peaceful journey. The Yangtze flows through softer lands where mist gathers, above quiet marshes and reeds, sway almost silently in the evening air. Water birds settle among the wetlands as the final light fades. Behind distant hills, the damp earth slowly cools after a warm day beneath the gentle sun, releasing the faint scent of rich soil and growing plants into the calm night. Everything moves slowly here. Everything belongs to the rhythm of water, wind, and earth. Along these rivers, scattered villages rest quietly beneath the evening sky. The people who live here know nothing of kingdoms or empires. Their world stretches only as far as the nearby forests, the winding streams, and the familiar fields that have slowly become part of their lives. Yet within these peaceful villages lie the earliest roots of a civilization that will endure for thousands of years. For now, though, there is no need to think of distant futures. There is only tonight. Small homes stand upon the land, built with careful hands from wood, woven branches, packed earth, and thick thatched roofs. Some are partially sunk into the ground, keeping cool during summer and warm through colder seasons. Others rise gently above damp southern soil on wooden supports, lifting their floors above the quiet wetlands where water often lingers after the rains. Every beam has been placed slowly. Every wall carries the fingerprints of those who shaped it. Every roof whispers softly whenever a gentle breeze passes overhead. The villages are never loud. Even during the busiest days, voices remain soft. Children play close to their homes, while elders watch the changing sky. Dogs rest near warm hearths. The smoke from cooking fires rises lazily upward, disappearing into the pale afternoon light. There is no rush. There is only the slow unfolding of another ordinary day, one nearly identical to countless others before it. As seasons pass, the people learn to understand the land more deeply. In the northern plains, Fields of millet stretch gently beneath the open sky. The tiny grains sway with each breeze, creating waves that seem to answer the flowing rhythm of the yellow river itself. The farmers rise with the first pale light of dawn, carrying simple stone tools worn smooth through years of careful use. They move patiently across the earth, placing seeds into fertile soil rich with river silt. Their footsteps leave shallow marks that the next rain will quietly erase. Nothing happens quickly. The seeds disappear beneath the earth for many long days. The rain arrives when it chooses. Warm sunlight returns without being summoned. Green shoots slowly emerge from the dark soil, almost unnoticed. Every change is gradual, every transformation gentle enough that one could almost miss it. Yet the people notice. They always notice. They understand that life follows rhythms older than memory itself. Farther south, where the air is warmer and rivers spread into broad wetlands, another rhythm unfolds. Rice grows where shallow water reflects the sky like polished glass. Narrow fields shimmer beneath. The sun, as delicate green shoots, stand quietly above the flooded earth. Bare feet step carefully through cool mud, pressing each young plant into its place. The water ripples softly around every movement before becoming still once more. Listen closely, and there is almost no sound. Only the quiet splash of careful footsteps. Only the distant song of unseen birds. Only the gentle rustling of reeds swaying along the riverbanks. Only the endless breathing of the land. As the years pass, hands become skilled not only in growing food, but also in shaping the gifts of the earth. Near the villages, clay is gathered from riverbanks where the soft mud waits beneath shallow water. The clay feels cool against patient fingers. It bends without resistance, yielding slowly beneath steady hands. Each vessel begins as little more than a quiet circle turning upon itself, rising gradually with every careful movement. There is no haste. Every bowl, every jar, every cup carries the calm rhythm of the one who shapes it. Later, when the clay has dried beneath the gentle sun, delicate red patterns are painted across its surface. Simple lines, curving spirals, flowing shapes that seem almost like rivers viewed from the sky. Perhaps they carry meaning. Perhaps they are only beautiful. Perhaps beauty itself is enough. The finished pottery waits beside glowing fires until the flames harden the clay into lasting form. Warm orange light dances across smooth surfaces, while sparks drift quietly upward into the evening air. The fire crackles softly, never demanding attention, only offering warmth as another peaceful day comes to its gentle end. As twilight settles over the land, the villages become quieter still. The muddy waters of the Yellow River reflect the fading colors of the western sky. The Yangtze wetlands disappear beneath gathering mist. Frogs begin their slow evening songs among hidden pools. Insects hum softly within tall grasses. The air grows cooler. The damp earth releases the warmth it gathered throughout the day, and a comforting freshness settles across every field and forest. The fires burn lower, Families gather close together beneath thatched roofs, while simple meals are shared without hurry. Stories pass from one voice to another, not stories of emperors or battles, but of rivers that flood and rivers that nourish, of animals seen in distant forests, of seasons remembered, of grandparents who once planted these same fields beneath these same stars. Memory begins quietly, not written upon bamboo, not carved into stone, but carried gently from one heart to another. A child listens beside the fading fire. An elder speaks slowly. Outside, the river continues flowing, exactly as it did yesterday, exactly as it will tomorrow. These first whispers of ancestral memory drift gently through generations like evening. Smoke rising into the night. Names may eventually fade. Faces may become uncertain. Yet the feeling remains a quiet understanding that those who came before still live within every planted field, every carefully shaped pot, every familiar path leading from village to river. Night deepens. The embers glow softly, then dim. Bright orange becomes gentle red. Red becomes quiet gray. Soon only warm ash remains beneath a blanket of darkness. The village sleeps. The roofs rest beneath countless stars. The fields rest beneath cool night air. The rivers never truly sleep, but they slow into an even gentler rhythm, their waters moving with such quiet certainty that they seem to breathe along with the earth itself. Feel your own breathing becoming just as steady. Slow in, slow out, again and again. Your limbs grow pleasantly heavy, as though they are resting within the cool river clay gathered along ancient banks thousands of years ago. Every muscle softens like damp earth after gentle rain. Every thought settles like fine, yellow silt drifting peacefully through calm water until it finally comes to rest upon the riverbed. Nothing asks anything of you here. There are no distant journeys, no urgent voices, no clocks, only rivers older than memory, only fields waiting patiently for another sunrise, only reeds whispering in the southern breeze, only soft ash resting where evening fires once glowed. The stars continue their silent passage overhead, just as they have done since these first villages welcomed the coming of night. Somewhere beyond the darkness, an owl glides silently above sleeping fields. Somewhere along the riverbank, water touches smooth stones with endless patience. Somewhere beneath a quiet roof, another generation dreams while tomorrow's harvest slowly gathers strength beneath the cooling earth, and the rivers continue, always flowing, always remembering, always carrying the gentle heartbeat of the earliest people who learned to live beside their waters. The rivers continue. They have never stopped. The Yellow River still carries its golden silt across the broad northern plains, moving with the same patient rhythm that cradled the first villages. Beneath quiet skies, far to the south, the Yangtze still glides through gentle wetlands where Reeds bow softly to the evening breeze. The old thatched roofs remain in memory. The first clay vessels still rest beneath layers of earth, and the whispered voices of ancestors continue to drift, like smoke through the endless passage of time. But seasons become generations. Generations become centuries. And almost without anyone noticing, the quiet villages begin to gather closer together, paths that were once walked by only a few. Careful footsteps become familiar roads, pressed gently into the earth. Families grow larger. Fields stretch farther across the plains. The careful rhythms of planting and harvest remain unchanged. Yet something new begins to awaken beneath the patient surface of the land. Not suddenly. Never suddenly. Everything happens as rivers happen. Slowly, quietly, almost too gently to see. The people still wake with the dawn. They still watch the changing clouds. They still listen to birds crossing the pale morning sky. Yet more hands now work together. More fires glow across the evening landscape. More voices carry softly through the cooling air before disappearing into the silence of approaching night. The ancestors seem closer than ever. Their memory has not faded. Instead, it has grown heavier, deeper, settling gently into every stone placed upon another, every timber lifted into place, every careful decision made beneath the endless turning of the stars. The land remembers. The rivers remember. The people remember. Yet the rivers are not always gentle. Sometimes the yellow river swells beyond its familiar banks. Heavy rains fall in distant mountains, unseen by those living upon the plains below. Day after day, the waters rise, carrying trees, stones, and endless waves of yellow earth. The calm current becomes broader, faster, stronger. Villages wait quietly. The people watch. They know the river gives life. They also know it asks for patience. From these ancient memories, another story slowly takes shape. It is the story of you, not a story shouted across crowded halls, not a story wrapped in triumph, but one carried softly from elder to child beside evening fires, whose glowing embers slowly settle into ash. You walks beside the river, again and again and again. He does not command the waters. He listens. He watches where they gather. He notices where they linger after rain. He studies every bend, every valley, every quiet place where the current hesitates before moving onward once more. His work is measured not in days, nor in months, but in years beyond easy counting. With endless patience, channels are opened. Earth is moved one careful basket at a time. Streams are guided rather than forced. Water is given room to travel where it has always wished to go. Nothing is hurried. Every stone is placed with quiet intention. Every path carved through. The earth follows the patient wisdom of flowing water itself. The river slowly learns another course. Not conquered, not defeated, simply understood. The floodwaters arrive. They spread. Then they gently retreat through channels prepared long before their coming. The people breathe quietly. Fields remain. Homes remained. The rhythm of life continues. As generations pass, the memory of you becomes inseparable from the rhythm of the Yellow River itself. Whether every detail belongs to history or to legend matters little now. Beneath the quiet stars, what remains is the feeling of patient endurance, of listening before acting, of moving with the earth instead of against it. Night settles once more across the plains. The air cools. Mist gathers above quiet streams. And somewhere beyond the dark horizon, new centers of life begin to rise. They do not appear all at once. The earth itself seems to lift them slowly upward. Walls emerge from the land, not walls of stone reaching sharply toward the sky, but broad, thick walls made from countless layers of packed earth. Each layer is pressed firmly, again and again. Wooden frames hold loose soil while heavy tools gently pound it into dense, solid strength. Another layer follows, then another. The work continues with calm repetition until the walls stand taller than a person, then taller still. The earth that once supported fields now becomes shelter. It becomes protection. It becomes memory shaped by human hands. At early toe, broad courtyards slowly take form. Buildings stand with quiet dignity upon carefully prepared foundations. Straight pathways cross open spaces where footsteps echo softly beneath pale moonlight. Wooden pillars support graceful roofs whose shadows stretch peacefully across packed earth after sunset. There is no noise tonight, only silence, only the gentle breathing of evening, only the slow cooling of the massive rammed earth walls as they release the warmth. Gathered beneath the afternoon sun, touch one of these walls in your imagination. It feels steady, cool, unmoving. It has waited through countless sunsets. It is in no hurry to greet another dawn. As darkness deepens, the walls seem almost alive, not because they move, but because they hold the quiet warmth of the day before, gradually surrendering it to the cool embrace of night. The process is so slow that no eye could truly witness it, yet the earth itself knows. The walls breathe with time. Generations continue their patient work. New settlements appear. Others fade quietly back into the landscape. Farther north, another city slowly grows upon the plain. Its name, long remembered, is Anyang. Here, the night carries a different stillness. The palace courtyards are wider. The ceremonial halls stand taller. The shadows beneath wooden eaves become deeper as moonlight washes softly across polished earth. The great rammed earth foundations remain perfectly still beneath every season. Summer warmth, autumn mist, winter frost, spring rain, year after year, century after century. The earth simply remains. As evening arrives, small bronze charms hanging from belts or robes sway gently whenever a breeze wanders through the courtyards. Clink, pause, soft, almost hidden. Their quiet rhythm blends with the distant whisper of leaves moving beyond the palace walls. No one speaks loudly here. There is no need. The night itself encourages silence. Within nearby workshops, another rhythm unfolds. The fires have burned since morning. Charcoal glows beneath carefully built furnaces. Bellows breathe slowly, steadily, feeding the flames with measured bursts of air. Copper rests beside tin. Together, they wait. Heat surrounds them. Minute by minute, the metals soften. Their separate forms begin to disappear. Edges blur. Surfaces glow. Until at last, they become one flowing river of molten bronze, brighter than sunset, warmer than any earthly stream. Those tending the furnace move without haste. Every gesture has been practiced countless times. Every tool rests exactly where it belongs. Clay molds wait patiently nearby. Their inner surfaces carry intricate patterns carved with astonishing care. Spirals, clouds, animals, ancient faces, lines within lines, shapes repeating endlessly like flowing water itself. The molten bronze is lifted. Slowly, carefully, the vessel carrying it glows orange. Beneath the dark workshop roof, every step matters. Every breath remains calm. Then, almost silently, the bronze begins its gentle journey into the waiting mold. It pours, steady, unbroken, a glowing stream flowing like liquid, sunlight captured within the darkness of night. There is no rushing, only patience, only gravity, only the quiet certainty that hot metal will find every hidden space prepared for it. The mold accepts it completely. The workshop grows still once more. Now comes the longest part. Waiting. Nothing more. The bronze slowly cools. Minute after minute. Hour after hour. Its fiery brightness fades. Orange becomes crimson. Crimson becomes deep red. Then slowly, the metal darkens beneath the quiet air of evening. No one urges it to cool faster. Time alone completes the work. When at last, the clay mold is carefully opened. A vessel emerges, carrying every delicate pattern hidden within its earthen shell. Its surface reflects the flickering light of nearby oil lamps. Its weight feels reassuring, solid, enduring, almost eternal. These vessels will not serve ordinary meals. They belong to ceremonies older than memory. They belong to quiet conversations between the living and those who came before. Night grows deeper. The palace settles into profound stillness. Oil lamps burn inside wooden halls. Their small flames sway gently whenever unseen currents of air wander through open corridors. Light flickers across dark wooden pillars, polished smooth by countless passing hands. Long shadows drift slowly across the floor, then slowly return. Nothing remains still except the earth itself. The bronze vessels rest upon low platforms. Moonlight enters through open doorways, touching their curved surfaces with pale silver light. The bronze gleams softly, not brightly, not proudly, simply, quietly. as though remembering every fire from which it was born. The air carries the faint scent of wood, oil, cool earth, and distant smoke. Everything feels wonderfully heavy, wonderfully slow, wonderfully calm. Here, beneath the patient moon, another ancient ritual begins. An ox shoulder blade rests upon a wooden table. Beside it lies the smooth shell of a turtle. These are not ordinary objects tonight. They have become bridges. Questions wait silently within human hearts. Will the harvest be generous? Will the rains arrive gently? Will the ancestors bless the coming season? No voice speaks these questions loudly. They hardly need words at all. The questions already exist within the quiet space between breathing. A small flame warms a slender rod. The glowing tip approaches the polished bone with infinite care. Heat meets ancient surface. A soft sound, a tiny crack, then another. The line spreads slowly across the bone, like branches growing across winter ice. No one hurries to understand them. The silence itself becomes part of the answer. An elder studies every mark beneath flickering lamplight. The room remains perfectly still. Outside, the moon continues climbing higher above the palace roofs. Inside, the oil lamps burn a little lower. The smoke rises gently upward, thin, gray, almost transparent. It twists slowly toward the dark wooden beams before disappearing into unseen darkness above. It seems almost as though the smoke carries every whispered question upward toward those who came before. Nothing is forced. Nothing is demanded. The ancestors are invited, not summoned, remembered, honored, trusted. The silence grows deeper. The flickering glow of the oil lamps slowly fades against the towering wooden pillars until light and shadow seem almost indistinguishable. Bronze vessels continue reflecting tiny points of trembling firelight, while beyond the open courtyard, the rammed earth walls quietly surrender the last warmth of the long-forgotten day. The breeze returns, very gently. Bronze charms answer with another soft rhythm. Clink, pause, clink, pause. The sound is barely louder than breathing. Perhaps it is breathing. The palace itself seems alive with quiet patience. Corridors stretch into darkness. Open courtyards rest beneath constellations that have watched every generation rise and fade. Wooden doors remain slightly open, allowing moonlight to spill across smooth floors where silent footsteps once passed. Now, there are no footsteps, only stillness, only memory, only time moving as slowly as rivers beneath the stars. Imagine yourself drifting silently through these endless corridors. You cast no shadow. You disturb no dust. The air is cool against your skin. The walls beside you feel ancient and reassuring. Their great weight asks nothing of you except stillness. With every slow breath, your own thoughts become heavier, steadier, calmer, like packed earth pressed layer upon layer until nothing can shake its quiet strength. Your heartbeat slows to match the distant rhythm of unseen water, flowing somewhere beyond the sleeping city. Your breathing follows the rise and fall of ancient furnace bellows long since cooled. In, out, slowly, patiently, without effort. The palace sleeps. The bronze rests. The oracle bones grow cool beneath fading lamps. The smoke has long since disappeared into the endless night, carrying gentle questions that no longer require immediate answers. Above everything, the moon continues its silent journey. Below it, the earth remains patient. The darkness wraps around the heavy eaves of the palace, smoothing out the sharp edges of the daytime world. The shadows grow soft, thick, and deep, like a velvet blanket laid over the central plains. In the distant stillness, the surrounding forests stand completely motionless, their roots drinking from the same earth that supports the great kingdoms. No birds call from the branches. No nocturnal animals disturb the perfect hush. The world has temporarily paused, choosing to rest in the secure cradle of this ancient night, safe within the unyielding protection of earth and tradition. The rivers continue flowing beyond the palace walls, just as they flowed beside the first villages generations ago. They remember the humble fields of millet and rice. They remember the first clay vessels shaped by careful hands. Now they also remember great walls of earth, glowing bronze born from fire, and quiet halls where ancestors are greeted with reverence instead of fear. Everything belongs to the same current: village, river, kingdom, bronze, moonlight, memory. Nothing is truly separate. Everything flows together, slowly, endlessly, gently onward through the immeasurable night, where the first dynasties sleep beneath. The same stars that watched the earliest rivers begin their timeless song. The moonlight now completely blankets the rooftops, painting every ceramic tile with a thin layer of liquid silver. It is a light that does not wake the world, but rather deepens its slumber, whispering that all things are exactly where they should be. The small bronze charms outside give one final, almost inaudible sigh into the night breeze. Clink. And then, perfect stillness. The questions on the ancient bones have been asked. The answers have been absorbed into the quiet night, and the fire in the furnace has dissolved into cold, dark carbon. The entire city, from the highest noble to the simplest farmer sleeping near the outer wall, is united in this single deep moment of absolute rest. The air itself feels heavy with peace, pressing down softly upon the eyelids, soothing the tired mind, and carrying every lingering thought away into the vast, dark, and beautiful ocean of ancient time. Let yourself fade along with the embers of the palace fires. Sleep securely, surrounded by the heavy walls of history, and let the slow, unhurried current of the primeval rivers carry you peacefully into your dreams. The palace sleeps. The bronze vessels remain where they were carefully placed, their dark surfaces still, holding the memory of moonlight, long after the lamps have grown dim. The rammed earth walls continue to breathe with the slow rhythm of cooling earth, and beyond them, the yellow river carries its quiet current through the endless night, just as it always has. The questions once offered to the ancestors have risen with the silent smoke, drifting gently into the vastness above, where no answer is hurried, and no wisdom arrives before its proper season. Time continues its patient journey. Years become generations. Generations become centuries. The great halls remain for a while, then slowly weather beneath rain, wind, and sunlight. Wooden beams grow old. Roof tiles settle deeper beneath moss. Courtyards that once echoed with careful footsteps become quieter with each passing age. Yet the spirit of seeking remains. It simply changes its form, flowing onward like water finding another peaceful channel. The bronze gives way to brush and ink. The sound of molten metal cooling fades into the gentle whisper of silk being unrolled. The questions remain. Only now they are written. Only now they are carried not only in memory, but in careful lines of graceful characters that rest quietly upon bamboo slips and smooth silk, waiting patiently for another pair of thoughtful eyes. Night falls once again. Inside a modest scholar's room, silence settles as naturally as mist upon a quiet valley. The room is simple. Nothing asks for attention. Nothing shines too brightly. A low wooden table rests near an open window. Shelves hold carefully stacked bundles of bamboo slips tied with woven cords. A rolled length of pale silk waits untouched beside them. Nearby rests a smooth inkstone, worn gently by years of quiet practice, its dark surface polished by countless slow circles of patient hands. The air carries the faint, comforting scent of old wood. The beams above have watched many seasons pass. Summer rains, autumn winds, winter snow, spring blossoms. They remember everything without saying a word. Another fragrance rises softly through the stillness. Pine ink, earthy, gentle, almost sweet. The scent lingers without ever becoming strong, as though it too understands the quiet manners of the room. It mingles with the cool evening air drifting through the open window until the entire room feels wrapped in calm. The scholar enters without haste. His footsteps are soft upon the wooden floor. He bows gently toward the small table, not because anyone watches, but because quiet respect has become as natural as breathing. He sits, he breathes. The room breathes with him. Nothing begins immediately. There is no urgency here. Even thought itself waits. The inkstick rests beside the inkstone. Its surface is smooth beneath careful fingers. A small amount of clear water glimmers within the shallow hollow of the stone. The scholar lifts the inkstick slowly, very slowly. It touches the stone, then begins to move, circle after circle, gentle, even, patient. The soft grinding fills the room with the quietest of sounds, a whisper, a murmur, almost like distant rain falling beyond forest hills. Again and again, The circles continue. Black ink slowly awakens within the clear water. Not all at once, little by little, darkness spreads through the liquid as though night itself were gently dissolving into a still pond. Nothing is rushed. Every circle deepens the color. Every breath deepens the silence. The scent of pine grows just a little richer. The oil lamp flickers nearby. Its small flame bends gently. Whenever the evening breeze wanders through the open window, light stretches across the table. Long shadows drift slowly along the wooden walls. The shadows move, then pause, then move again, like quiet clouds crossing an ancient mountain. The scholar watches without thinking. Thinking has become unnecessary. Only attention remains. Only presence. At last, the ink is ready. The brush waits upright in its holder. Its soft hairs taper to a delicate point. The scholar lifts it with calm hands. The brush descends. Its tip touches the surface of the ink. The black liquid gathers silently among the fine hairs. The brush rises once more. A single dark drop almost falls. Almost, but remains perfectly balanced. Nearby, a length of silk is slowly unrolled across the table. Its surface catches the warm light with quiet grace. Smooth, pale, waiting. Beside, it rests another bundle of bamboo slips, joined carefully by woven cords. Each narrow strip has been polished until it welcomes every stroke with gentle patience. Nothing has yet been written. The empty space feels complete already. The blank silk carries no anxiety. It does not fear remaining empty. It simply waits. Just as rivers wait for rain, just as mountains wait for morning light, the first stroke arrives. The brush touches silk. Softly, almost weightlessly, black ink flows from the fine hairs with perfect calm. One line, then another. A pause, another line. Each character appears slowly, as though it has always existed and merely waited for the brush to reveal it. No movement is wasted. Every stroke breathes. Every pause breathes. Even the empty spaces between the characters seem alive with quiet meaning. The oil lamp continues its gentle dance. Its warm glow flickers against dark wooden pillars, sending long shadows across. Shelves filled with scrolls gathered over many peaceful years. Some contain poetry. Some preserve history. Some ask questions. Some answer none at all. All rest quietly together. Outside the open window, bamboo rises into the night. Tall, graceful, patient. The wind arrives almost unnoticed. The slender leaves begin to move. Not violently, not subtly, only enough to whisper. The sound is soft beyond words, like falling rain far away, like countless tiny voices speaking together without needing language. The bamboo bends, then returns, bends, then returns, again, again, again. Their rhythm is older than memory. The scholar listens while continuing to write. The brush glides. The leaves whisper, the lamp flickers, the ink slowly dries. Everything belongs to one peaceful rhythm. As the night deepens, thoughts themselves become lighter. Heavy concerns dissolve like fresh ink meeting clear water. Sharp edges soften. Questions loosen their grip. The mind no longer reaches outward. Instead, it settles inward, gently, effortlessly, until it becomes as still as the surface of a mountain lake, untouched by wind. Somewhere beyond the quiet room, another traveler walks beneath the stars. HIS path, FOLLOWS, ancient mountain passes where narrow trails wind between towering cliffs, wrapped in drifting mist. He carries little, only what is needed. The mountains ask for nothing more. This quiet traveler is remembered as Lao Tzu, or perhaps he is only one among many wise wanderers whose footsteps gradually merged into legend. The distinction no longer matters. Only the feeling remains. He walks without hurry. Each step follows the path already waiting beneath his feet. The stones neither resist nor welcome him. They simply exist. The wind meets him gently, as it has met every traveler who has crossed these heights since the mountains first rose toward the sky. Pine trees cling to distant slopes. Their branches sway slowly beneath the cool night air. Mist gathers between ridges. Clouds drift silently below moonlit peaks until earth and sky become almost impassable to separate. Nothing struggles here. The streams do not hurry toward the valleys. The wind does not force the trees to bend. The moon does not ask permission to shine. Everything follows its own quiet nature. The way, the endless path that requires no command. Water flows because flowing is its nature. Grass grows because growing is its nature. The stars cross the heavens because that is simply what stars have always done. The traveler smiles softly, not because he has found an answer, but because no answer is needed. The mountains themselves are enough. The silence itself is enough. Far below, valleys rest beneath silver mists. Tiny villages sleep beside winding rivers. Dogs curl beside fading fires. Farmers dream of gentle rains. Children dream without knowing they dream. The entire land seems wrapped inside one long, peaceful breath. The traveler continues onward until even his footsteps disappear into the night. Elsewhere, another quiet life unfolds. Within ancient academies, surrounded by old trees and peaceful courtyards, scholars gather not to argue loudly, but to understand slowly. Morning lessons have long since ended. Evening conversations have faded. Now only silence remains. Stone paths glisten faintly beneath dew. Wooden halls stand motionless beneath broad tiled roofs. The mist arrives gradually, spreading across gardens with such patience that no eye can truly see it moving. It simply appears, one gentle layer after another. The academy seems to float within clouds. Oil lamps burn behind paper windows. Their golden light glows softly through the thin screens like distant stars resting upon the earth. Inside, another scholar carefully studies ancient teachings. His breathing remains slow, his posture relaxed. He reads not to conquer knowledge, not to collect words, but to cultivate harmony within himself. The teachings of Confucius unfold line by line beneath the warm light, respect, kindness, balance, gentleness, patience, not as burdens, not as rules, but as quiet habits that allow human hearts to move together as naturally as birds flying across the evening sky. Outside, bamboo leaves continue whispering. The sound blends with the distant murmur of a hidden stream. Neither voice interrupts the other. Both belong. Both complete the silence rather than disturb it. Hours pass unnoticed. The lamp grows smaller. Its flame lowers little by little. The shadows stretch farther across the floor. The scent of pine ink remains. Old wood continues, breathing softly beneath the cooling air. Somewhere nearby, a page is gently rolled closed. A bamboo scroll is tied once more with woven cord. The brush is carefully washed. Black ink disappears into clear water until only faint gray ripples remain. Thoughts disappear in much the same way. One by one, quietly, without resistance. Allow your own thoughts to dissolve just as gently. There is nothing to solve tonight, nothing to finish, nothing to remember. The ink returns to water. The brush returns to stillness. The scroll returns to silence. The mind returns to the quiet place it has always known. Feel your breathing becoming slower, deeper, effortless. Your shoulders grow pleasantly heavy. Your hands rest like smooth stones, warmed by the afternoon, sun and cooled beneath the peaceful evening sky. Your heartbeat follows the gentle rustling of bamboo leaves beyond the open window, soft, steady, unhurried. The scholar's room grows dimmer. The oil lamp offers one last warm flicker. Then another. Then another. The flame grows small, yet the darkness never feels empty. It feels welcoming, like fertile earth waiting beneath winter snow, like calm water reflecting unseen stars, like an old forest listening to the wind. Beyond the room, the mountain passes remain wrapped in silver mist. The bamboo forests continue their endless whisper. The academies sleep beneath quiet roofs. The rivers still flow through. Valleys where villages dream, peacefully beside their ancient banks. The wisdom of the philosophers does not demand attention. It arrives softly, like mist upon still water, like moonlight across silent stone, like ink spreading gently through clear water until no boundary remains between darkness and light. Everything belongs. Everything breathes. Everything follows the timeless flow of the Tao, where nothing rushes, nothing resists, and nothing is ever truly separate from the quiet rhythm of the whole. The night deepens. The brush rests. The scrolls sleep. The mountains remain patient. The bamboo continues whispering its endless lullaby. And your mind, now calm as a moonlit lake, untouched by wind, drifts gently onward with the ancient current, following the way into deeper and deeper rest. The darkness grows deeper still, soft and enveloping, filling every corner of the room with a profound sense of security. The paper screens on the windows glow with a faint, final warmth, filtering the silvery light of the high moon. There is no tomorrow to prepare for, no yesterday to remember. There is only the long, deep hum of the universe moving through the silence. Every breath you take is like a soft breeze passing through the high mountain pines, coming naturally and leaving peacefully. Let your thoughts fade into the deep black ink of the scholar's stone. Becoming completely still, the ink has settled, the brush is clean, and the world outside has surrendered to the infinite dark. Sleep is here, heavy and comforting, wrapping around you like the softest silk scroll. Follow the quiet river of time into the perfect, dreamless peace of the night.